Good morning, crusty crew. Just woke up in a Taco Bell parking lot. This is one of my kind of go-to spots around here. Nobody ever bothers me, and there's good internet. Something that really sucks about Tucson for some reason is it's super spotty with cell reception, like everywhere. And it's not just me. Like, I've talked to a lot of people that say the same thing, so I gotta kind of be picky and choosy because I was gaming with the boys last night, so I needed somewhere that I had a good connection. But anyways, finally decided to get the camera out and point it at myself. I have been filming some things here and there, but I don't know, I just haven't felt like making a video, I guess. Like, I think I talked about it a little bit in the last video, but I want to make stuff that I want to make. And there's been like I've had some video ideas and like I've almost made them or I've planned them out and whatever, and then I just haven't. And I think that's okay. I think I'm accepting that like it's okay to not always create videos. And the reason being for that primarily is just living in the moment. I really, really like just enjoying the moment, you know? I hate ruining it by bringing a camera out. It's never the same, no matter how hard you try. Unless you have somebody that is just filming you independently, it's never the same. Like hanging out with my friends and stuff, and new friends that I'm meeting down here or have met. It's like, just, I don't want to just shove a camera in their face when we're starting like a new friendship. You know, like, it's kind of just weird and not authentic. Like, we're two strangers trying to decide if we actually like each other enough to hang out or to continue talking or whatever it may be. Like, I don't want to put a camera in the middle of that and make that even more difficult. But there is that confliction in just the sense that I love capturing those moments, you know, or any moments. I just really enjoy having it on video and being able to go back and relive those moments, I guess. But there's a very faint, gray, not very defined line of where that difference is of living in the moment versus having it on camera. And I'm still trying to work on that, trying to figure that out. But I have been very busy lately, and it's not even as much of busy with physical things, because yes, there has been physical things. I've been working a lot, both for myself and with my other job. But I'm also trying to plan this trip that's coming up in just a couple weeks now of when I'm leaving here. And it's not just like the act of doing those busy things, it's like the busy thoughts. My mind has been very busy lately, and making videos has just kind of been put on the back burner as I focus on what's most important, I guess. This next adventure is very exciting and very new, and it's just something that there's some feeling I have that is just different than I've had before. I mean, I've traveled all over the country. I've been in the van for over a year now. Like, it's not like I'm new to this and it's a new sensation or anything, but something about this trip just is a little different. And I don't know if it's just because it's a little more intense. It has maybe some framework around it, you know, like I have to be on that ferry by a certain date, and then I have a job lined up after, whereas like most of my travels have just been adventuring and just doing whatever I want. No real destination or time constraint in mind. And now I have both. So I think that's a pretty big factor, but it's also just tough to know that I'm going to be leaving my friends behind yet again. Like, I left all my friends back in Nebraska, and obviously we still talk and still keep in touch and whatnot, but like, that's tough in itself. But once you do it, you're past that. But here now I've made new friends yet again, and I have an old friend here that I have to say goodbye to again. There's also just the simple fact that as I head north, it's going to get cold again. Like, it's been in the 80s here last week or so, and I've been very, very spoiled with how sunny and how warm it is here. And I'm going to be kind of reversing, going backwards back into winter again, especially once I get up to Alaska. I'm sure there's still going to be snow up there. Oh, we almost missed our turn. Here we go. So just moving from my sleep spot now and over here to Relido Park, where I'm going to hang out for the day. My buddy Wobig's going to meet me here at some point today. We're going to play around, which I guess that's another thing I haven't even told you guys about. But last weekend, I think it was last weekend, I got first ever tournament. We both signed up for a C-tier flex start event, very low key, nothing crazy. And it was my first time playing in the MPO division. And this is all public information, so I'll happily out myself because you can look it up and see it. I'm not trying to hide anything. But I got waxed. Yeah, I did not do very well. I didn't do awful by any means, but I did not play up to my standards, I guess I should say, and left a lot on the table, left a lot to be desired. It just made it even more abundantly clear that I choke under pressure of tournaments for some reason. I moved myself up into MPO for the first time, just for the simple fact that I know when I put everything together, I am capable of winning that division. My problem is the consistency. Like, there's something about getting in a tournament, and I feel like I'm a good performer under pressure, especially like athletically. Like, I've never had that problem, I guess. But for some reason, I mean, I missed like an 8-foot putt for birdie. Such an easy putt, nearly a tap in, and I just got rattled. I missed it, and then that stuck with me the whole rest of the time. And then I'm not gonna lie, on hole, I want to say 16 of 22. There was 22 holes out there. One of my card mates was like, "You're playing really well. You're definitely playing above your rating. This should bump your rating up a lot." Well, thanks for that, dude, because then I took 3 bogeys after he told me that. So that got in my head also, and just the mental game. I definitely need some improvement on when it comes to tournament play, at least. I didn't film any of that disc golf stuff. Really wanted to just enjoy that, be in the moment, and support my buddy playing in his first tournament. So we both had a really good time. He did pretty damn well, to be honest. At one point, he was tied for second when I checked the leaderboard after his front 9. Then he had a couple blow-up holes, but still, good for you, bud. Yeah, long story short, I've just been busy. I've been doing quite a few plumbing jobs, which has been nice because 1 or 2 plumbing jobs pays the same as a week at my part-time job. So when those do come in, I gotta capitalize for sure, and it's nice to get those. But my other job, I don't think I've really told you guys anything about it. I don't even think I've told you what kind of job it is. I don't know if I will. I think for now I'm gonna, maybe on our road trip, I'll spill the beans about it a little bit. But while I'm still employed there, I think I'm gonna keep it on the low. But it's the job itself is getting progressively worse, I would say. I enjoy most of the people that I work with quite a bit. They're pretty cool people. The people that own the business that I work for, I should say, the owners are pretty terrible owners, I guess I would say. We'll just put it that way. So my enjoyment of the job itself has been going down quite a bit, but I have enjoyed the people, both my coworkers and the customers that come in. I've had a good time for the most part. I've had a few cranky old people that I've gotten in a couple arguments with, but because I don't care about this job at all, and because I know I'm quitting relatively soon, it makes it kind of comical. Like, I actually enjoy when these old people come in and I just get to educate them, and hopefully they start to feel stupid. I don't know. It blows my mind how confident people can be when they're wrong. Like the other day I had a guy arguing with me about whatever. I can't tell you too much without giving away like the job. But long story short, I turned the computer screen around that I was looking at. I was reading off his information on this computer screen, and he told me he's like, "Well, you don't know what you're talking about. That's not right." And I was like, "Well, it says it right here, bro. Like, I'm not, what benefit would I have of making this up?" And he just goes back and forth with me, and finally I was like, I mean, you can look at yourself. And I just turned the computer around. I was like, look, it says right here, like, here's a picture of everything you're arguing me against, you know? He threw his hands up in the air, knocked my cup of pens over on the desk, and stormed out and cussed at me and whatever. But I was like, I felt good after that, you know? Like, I was riding that high for the rest of the day. Like, you just made a complete fool out of yourself because you were wrong and you couldn't admit it. It's just crazy to me how these boomers can be so childish, I guess. Like, they're all over the younger generation about this, that, and the other, but they are literal grown-up babies. It's crazy sometimes. But anyways, enough about work before I accidentally spill the beans on that one. The van. The van still has a couple issues. And there's two specific issues that I know exactly what I need to do to fix, and I think I'm going to finally do them today while we wait for Lobig. But I've just been ignoring them. I don't know why. I really don't have a real reason. Yesterday I was planning on doing them, and then I decided to take like a 4-hour nap because I needed to catch up on some sleep. And so it never happened. But there's two problems that I've been dealing with in the van that are relatively, I wouldn't even say relatively, that are extremely simple fixes. And I've just been putting them off. I've just been procrastinating it. And I don't know why. I don't have an answer. But I have been. And yeah, I think it's time I should probably take care of it before they become like real issues. Okay, so you guys know how I've been having problems with the battery and whatnot in the van. Right now we're sitting at 87%. I have figured it out, at least the battery portion. Still haven't figured out why my oven and my stove don't like to work together, but I have figured out the charging problem, or at least why I was going through battery so fast. I just wasn't charging very quickly. And the reason being, my solar wasn't working very well, at least. And it's been a simple fix that I've been kind of ignoring. So first off, it's always super dusty in here, which is annoying. But this is the charge controller for the solar that comes in. So solar comes in, goes into this charge controller, and then it goes into the batteries. The ground wire, this little guy right here, you can see, maybe, is a little bit loose. Well, this thing has just been loose, and so it hasn't been charging very well. So sometimes I notice that it's not charging very well. I open this thing up and I just kind of shove that ground wire in, and it works. Today I'm going to actually like re-put the ground wire in properly so it actually works. All right, it was literally that easy. I just had to loosen the screw, push in the wire, tighten the screw. And that is something that I've been putting off for 2 or 3 weeks now. Solid. Okay, now the other problem that I've been having is actually a little bit more important and probably shouldn't have been put off for as long because it's so vital to my van. But right up here is my Max Air fan. Makes a world of a difference of living in a van. I did not have one on my bus, and that is why living in the bus was miserable. So, long story short, about a week or, it's probably been about 2 weeks now. Randomly, one day I tried to turn it on and it just wouldn't turn on. It would open and close, but the fan wouldn't spin. So I left it off, came back, turned it on, left it on, and then after like 45 minutes it randomly just kicked on and was working. Then a couple days later, after it had been working just fine, it stopped working at like higher speeds. So obviously that was kind of a problem. So I called customer service after doing a little bit of research, kind of figured out what I was expecting the problem to be. First off, Max Air, fantastic customer service. I was able to call, talk to a real person, no questions asked. They sent me out replacement parts. That was awesome. You don't get a lot of that nowadays. But basically, what my research told me and what the customer service guy told me was it sounds like the circuit board was going bad. The problem is, or not problem, I guess, is that it's been working perfectly fine ever since the part came in. So I've just been leaving it be and kind of just leaving that part as a backup. So I'm going to finally tackle this. We're going to replace the circuit board in the fan here, and hopefully it's as simple as I think it is. That's my table mount. First things first, we got to turn off the fuse for the fan here. Boom, shakalaka. Boy, hello. Just set that there for now. Alright, power's off. The next order of business is to remove the screen. Just these little tabs up here. There we go. Pop that down. Now that reveals 4 screws that we get to pull out. Team Red, baby. And I think I'm actually, so these, I don't know if you guys can see them or, but these two little screws right here are not actually part of the fan. Put those in there to mount the air conditioner hose up here. And it's kind of just a temporary thing, but I just kind of left them there. And I'm going to finally take them out since we've got the impact out already. All right, so that should allow this to drop down now. Oh, I think the handle have to come off? Yeah, I think we got to pull the handle off first. Hang on. Oh, helps when you put the right bit back in. Oh, there we go. Handle off, screw on the floor. Let's find it before it's too late. Got it. Put it with the handle. So, all right. So, this little guy right here is what we were after. So it looks like it is as simple as just a couple of wires. There's some zip ties up here. I might want to cut off just to make it a little easier for me. All right, now how is this thing held on? Oh, huh. Probably the 3 screws that are in it. Hang on. We almost just made a very critical error. I just realized I haven't even unboxed the new part yet. So we should probably make sure that it's actually even in here and it's the right part before we get too far ahead of ourselves. Like I said, I've really put this task off. You might notice that procrastination is quite the trend with me, which is amazing that I ever ended up actually buying a van and doing all of this. Looks like a circuit board to me. And it is labeled with the correct model that I have. That's a good sign. Let's take a gander here. So I have heard that these aren't like water protected at all, and that's how they can go bad, is they get wet. My old one doesn't look like it's ever been wet. I mean, I could obviously be wrong, but it doesn't show any signs of being wet. That looks very bent. Yeah, look at that. It came like this. I don't think that's supposed to be... What are those even? They don't even do anything. Okay, I guess it doesn't really matter. They're not connected to anything. I don't know much about electrical. I mean, I'm just being blunt here. I can figure a lot of stuff out, but I don't actually know very much about electrical and how it all works. I'm a plumber. Whoa, there we go. Sound that you hear of all those things falling are the magnets that hold up my like window cover thing, essentially. It's not too bad that I had to take that down because these things were like all over in there, and I needed to kind of like that's what I'm looking for, redistribute them around to make that thing hold up better anyway. So not the end of the world, but now we've got... This is what we were looking for. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. I need one of those. Yeah, I definitely need to do that. Or I need wire nuts or something. Let's see what we've got in the garage. It's not looking promising. I think I got rid of all of those. I had a bunch of them in here. I think I threw them all out because I never used them. And they were just taking up space. Here we are now needing them. It does not appear that I have any. I don't even have any wire nuts in here. You gotta be kidding me. I'm sick. Well, they didn't have the connectors that I wanted, but I just got some cheap heat shrink wrap. That should take care of it for us. Tools back out. We're just gonna finish this up while we're in the Home Depot parking lot, just in case we need anything else, so I don't have to put everything away again. Now, where are my wire strippers? I don't use them often. Like I said, I'm not an electrician. Did we see them in the back when I was just back there? I don't know. I'm gonna go check. They were indeed back there. Like I said, I don't use them often, so they don't get to stay in my normal tool bag. But, all right, it's official. We're about to cut something. It's about no going back from here. This could be, if this doesn't go well, this is gonna be really bad. So, let's just hope it goes well. Snip. Snip. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm a stripper. There she goes. Boom. Old one removed. New one coming in. All right, update guys. So I figured out why it wasn't working, and luckily it was a extremely simple fix. Turns out I pulled the wrong fuse this whole time. So when I pulled the fuse before I started working on it, I pulled the fuse for what even was it? I think for the fans that are in my battery compartment, and then put that fuse back. Didn't have power, and I was like, what the hell, what's going on? Well, turns out this fuse was the actual fuse, and it popped right away. I mean, I'm sure it was. It's very clearly popped. So now I just get to go right back into Home Depot, go buy another fuse, slap it in. I even put, I've been checking for voltage, I've been checking for ohms. I put the old circuit breaker, why do I keep calling it that? Circuit board back on to see if that worked. Nothing, obviously, because this fuse was bad. Super stupid, but hopefully I put a new fuse in and we're good to go. So I'll be right back. All right, well, so far this project has just shown me why I procrastinate things. Because every time that I try to actually do a project, it opens a whole can of worms. I just went into Home Depot to get a new fuse, and of course they don't have any of what I need, at least, because it's like a... Of course they don't have any because it's like an automotive fuse, so they don't carry jack shit for automotive. So now I'm gonna go over here to an AutoZone and pray that they have it. And I turned the wrong way because maps never know what direction I'm facing. Oh, and I didn't latch that drawer and it just flew open. Guys, my patience is being tested this AM. This was supposed to be such a simple project, such a simple fix. Something that I felt silly for putting off for so long, you know? And now I'm like, I'm glad I put it off, you know? Like, I wasn't mentally prepared for this. This is pissing me off. Such a simple thing. And it's really, I have nothing to blame but myself. That's the worst part about it, is that if I would have just pulled the correct fuse to begin with, taken a little bit of extra time, I'd have been good. But I was off by one number. I was looking down, I was like, okay, number 8, pull number 8, while I pulled number 7, and that doesn't accomplish anything. So, blew the fuse, and I'm the one to blame. What are you gonna do? I got the new fuses. I'm gonna slap this thing back up in here. Hopefully that takes care of all of our problems. Wobig is en route to the course, so now I've got a time crunch. Let's make this thing happen. I'm pretty sure I forgot to secure the screws before I started driving, and now I have no frickin' clue where they are. Oh, here's one way over here. That's promising. So that means the other ones are probably somewhere on the floor. Oh, here's one. There's another one. Cool. Just need one more now. And there she is. Hell yeah. When you don't have much floor, there's not much area to lose it in. Works out nicely. Alright, before I heat shrink that, I'm gonna go throw in the fuse and make sure we got power. Alright, I heard it made a beep. That's a good sign. Let's go! Yes! Thank you! Alright, now I get to put it all back together. Oh, thank God. I'm stoked right now. This is the highlight. Oh, God, I'm so happy. Alright. Let's heat shrink these bad boys before we forget. What's up? What is that? Mail. Verizon. And an ad. Oh, yeah. So this is what I've been working on. Took it all apart. Put the new circuit breaker in. Turns out that I didn't pull the correct fuse, so I blew the fuse. Couldn't figure out why I didn't have power. Finally figured out I pulled the wrong fuse. Got the new fuse in, put it all back together, and it was working. I was like, oh, okay, sweet. So then I like truly put it all back together with all the screws and everything, and now it doesn't work again. Oh. So, just gonna take an intermission. So I don't know if I just pinched a wire or something when I put it back together or what. Because it opens, but the fan won't turn on and it just beeps at me. That's a new problem. It's never done that before. Let's go! It might be parked. Nope.
Not that gap. Or that one.
Is that like 100 feet long? Oh no, I think we're pretty good. Come on, get through there. I think it's parked. That's what you like to see right there. All right, to shoot even par. Disc golf adventure is complete. Back to tackling this stupid fan. After a quick Google search, it might be the rain sensor. It's drier than hell. We're in Tucson, Arizona, but maybe something's faulty with that. But what's weird is it worked fine until I put everything back together. So I'm gonna tear it back all apart and see what happens. Yeah, see? Now it works. What the hell? Mission success, baby. Alright. Finally got it done. The fan is working. The stress is relieved. Now I can kick back. I'm kind of lying. I can't kick back and chill. I got to go to the gym, hit legs, take a shower. Then I will kick back and chill, and I'll finally cook a meal. So yeah, circling back around, since this is just all over the place, I have decided on the date that I'm leaving. I am going to be leaving Arizona on March 22nd and making my way to the West Coast, working up north from there. I'm very excited, very nervous, and the more that I tried to plan this road trip, the more I decided not to, I guess. There's several cities or several certain like overlook kind of spots, you know, that I want to stop at. Gosh, these hiccups are killing me. But I decided that like I have a rough idea, a rough kind of land map of where I'm going. But what I've loved most about all of my travels is that I've had virtually no plan with them. Like last winter, I traveled for like 6 months straight, not staying in the same spot for more than a night, like just literally a new spot every single night, constantly just traveling the southern coast. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I never knew where I was going next. I never really had a destination in mind at all, just kind of, hey, we're going to go that way. And I think that's what I'm going to do again. So like I said, I have a few like pit stops that I want to make sure I make it to, but overall, I'm just going to go up the West Coast and see what happens. We're just going to run into what we run into. Yeah, I'm more excited for it in that regard, like on those terms, to just go for it completely unplanned, rather than planning out, okay, by this date we're going to be here, and then it's going to be a 2.5 hour drive to here, and we're going to look at this, and then we're going to go to... No. I don't want any of that. Like, I do van life because I don't want to be in that time constraint, in the same like world that normal people, I guess, live in. I like the fact that I'm just at the seat of my pants at all times. I love it. That's exactly why I do what I do, and why I've fallen in love with it, the freedom that it's given me. Why would I nerf that, you know? So yeah, we're leaving on the 22nd. My ferry takes off on the 11th up in Washington. Also where my buddy Brad and Paula are up at, and it's the same city. So hopefully we can meet up with them. I know they're going to be doing some traveling too and whatnot, so they might not even be there when I get there. I'm hoping they are. Hoping that I can get around in with Brad up there, because the courses that he's been playing, guys, if you are one of the disc golf people, if you're interested in that at all, and you don't watch Broderick, I would highly recommend going and checking it out. He's literally a cinematographer that throws frisbees, and I don't know, he's a good dude. Go give it a watch. But I'm hoping that I can meet up with him and we can play some of those courses he's been playing, because these wide open desert courses are getting old. I cannot lie. I mean, they were old the day I showed up, I'm not gonna lie, but my hyzer game has improved drastically, because that's all I throw here now. I just throw hyzers at everything, just over all the trees, because the trees are 9 feet tall. I'm really craving some woodsy tunnel shots and stuff like that. It's probably going to humble the shit out of me, because I haven't played like that in a while, but I'm pretty stoked for it. And I know I've mentioned that there's a course up in Alaska on the island that I'm at, but I really don't know what to expect with that. But I'm excited even just like to make some safari holes and stuff, and play it like a kid again, I guess. Like that's what I'm looking forward to as far as Alaska disc golf, because it is going to be a bummer. There's not going to be a bunch of tournaments I can go to. There's not going to be a bunch of leagues or even just a bunch of people playing. But I did actually meet a random dude. I should meet a random dude on Reddit the other day. I do a lot of like research for like where I'm going to be traveling and whatnot through Reddit, because they're real people. And there's another guy who's also going to be up there for a seasonal job in the same area, Ketchikan. And he mentioned that he plays disc golf, and I was like, well, hell yeah. So he slid in my DMs, and we messaged a few times back and forth. But obviously once I get up there, I'll meet up with him and get to play a couple rounds. So there's at least one other disc golfer up there, which I'm pretty stoked about. Yeah, I feel like I had a lot more I wanted to talk to you guys about, but I did just wake up like 20 minutes ago, so maybe just all the brain waves aren't quite there yet. But so if this is actually the end of the video, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. And if it's not, you'll get some weird cut because I didn't plan a transition here. Peace.